The fryer was screaming. That's the only way I can explain it. The oil inside Benny's burger barn jumped and snapped like something alive, even though no one had touched the switch. The lights over the counter flickered from yellow to a sick, dead blue. Every TV menu went black at the same time, then bright white words appeared. Welcome to the top 3 haunted fast food restaurants that are terrifying. Underneath, 3 names faded in, one by one, in dripping red letters. Benny's Burger Barn. Midnight Fried Chicken. Ghost Slice Pizza. My friends Mia and Caleb stared at the glowing screens with me, our trays of cold fries and half-finished sodas shaking on the table. The drive-thru speaker crackled even though no car was there. Order up, order up, order up, it whispered, over and over, like a broken voice in the dark. Then, beneath the TV, the security monitor switched from boring camera views to something else. The grainy black and white screen showed the kitchen, and us, and 3 dark shapes standing right behind our chairs. Mia grabbed my arm. Jacob, she whispered, don't turn around. I turned. And what I saw standing at the counter was wearing a Benny's uniform, but its face looked wrong, blurred and shifting like a broken TV signal, as it slowly raised one hand and pointed straight at me. 12 hours earlier, that same morning, nothing was scary at all. It was just me, Jacob, lying on the couch in our small Ohio house, scrolling through horror videos on my phone. Mia kept sending me links to real haunted places in America, and Caleb was trying to convince us to start a YouTube channel about urban legends. I rolled my eyes and hit play on the next video. A deep voice said, "Today we're counting down the top 3 haunted fast food restaurants that are terrifying." I sat up. "Guys, you need to see this," I texted. Soon, we were all squeezed together in Mia's living room. The video showed creepy photos and grainy CCTV clips as the narrator talked. "Number 3, the voice said. Benny's Burger Barn, Crestwood, Ohio. Employees report seeing a former worker who died during a late-night robbery. Fryers turn on by themselves. Menus change in the middle of the night. Customers hear their names whispered through the drive-thru speaker, even when they're not in the drive-thru." Mia's jaw dropped. "Crestwood is literally our town." Caleb's eyes lit up. "Dude, we have to go there tonight. Imagine the views if we get real footage." At first I laughed it off. Haunted fast food restaurants? It sounded like a cheap movie. But the video kept playing. Number 2, Midnight Fried Chicken, Dallas, Texas. Number 1, Ghost Slice Pizza, outside Chicago, Illinois. By the end, there were chills on my arms. The last clip showed a blurry figure standing in an empty restaurant dining room at 3 a.m., its hand pressed flat against the glass. Mia hugged her pillow. "Okay, that was actually creepy." Caleb grinned. "That's why it'll go viral. We start local at Benny's, then later, road trip for number 2 and 1. I didn't want to admit it, but my heart was racing. Benny's Burger Barn was only 15 minutes away, right off the highway. I'd eaten there 100 times. Suddenly, it felt different in my mind, like every time I'd gone there, something had been watching me from the kitchen. "Fine," I said. "We go. But we're not staying late." We waited until sunset, when the sky turned orange and the parking lot lights flicked on. Benny's looked normal from the outside. Bright red sign, posters of smiling burgers on the windows, the smell of fries floating in the air. Inside, kids laughed in the play area. A tired mom refilled her soda. A bored guy in a Benny's cap mopped the floor. "See?" I whispered. "Totally normal." We ordered our food and sat near the security camera TV mounted in the corner. Caleb kept checking the time. 8:47 p.m. "The video said most stuff happens after 9, he said. Minutes dragged. Nothing weird. We ate fries. Mia filmed a few clips for fun. The sky outside turned dark. 8:59 p.m. The lights flickered once. I told myself it was nothing. 9 p.m. Every TV menu above the counter suddenly shut off. The room went almost dark. The fryer, which had been quiet, roared to life all on its own, splashing oil. The bored worker dropped his mop. What the? Then the drive-through speaker crackled to life even though no car was there, and a soft, empty voice whispered through the whole restaurant. Welcome back, Benny. All at once, every phone on every table lit up with the same notification. New video, top 3 haunted fast food restaurants that are terrifying, live. The thumbnail was a live shot of us, sitting in Benny's Burger Barn, and someone else slowly stepping out from the dark kitchen behind the counter. The thing in the Benny's uniform didn't move at first. It just stood behind the counter, its body still like someone had pressed pause on it. But its face kept flickering, switching between different shapes like a TV trying to find the right channel. A man's face, a woman's face, a blank white blur, then back again. Mia squeezed my hand so tight it hurt. Caleb lifted his phone, his fingers shaking. Dude, it's streaming us live. I didn't want to believe him, but when I looked at the security monitor, I saw the same live stream thumbnail that was on our phones, except this one was real time. And the worst part? The title had changed again. Number 3, Benny's Burger Barn, victims identified. Under it 3 names appeared. Jacob. Caleb. My whole body felt cold. That's not funny, I whispered, but no one had joked. The fryer hissed louder, like it was boiling over. The room smelled like burnt oil and something rotten. Everyone else in the restaurant froze. The mom with the soda refill grabbed her kids and ran out. The worker backed into the wall and whispered, Not again, please not again. Not again? Mia asked him. What do you mean? Before he could answer, the thing behind the counter twitched. Just a tiny twitch. But it was enough to make every muscle in my body stiffen. It slowly raised its head, and for the first time, we saw its eyes. They were gone. Just empty black holes. Its mouth opened wide, way too wide, and a broken voice echoed out, like 2 radios talking at once. You shouldn't be here. Then the lights exploded back to full brightness. The menu screens flashed white. The fryer shut off. The drive-through speaker went silent. And the figure suddenly vanished, like it blinked out of the air. Every table shook. My tray almost flipped over. Mia gasped. Jacob, look! The security monitor now showed the kitchen camera again. But instead of the normal clean counters, we saw something splattered across the walls. Something dark. Something wet. Then a handprint slowly appeared on the camera lens. Pressed from the inside. Like someone, or something, was trying to crawl through. That was the moment panic took over. We bolted out the front door into the cold night air. The parking lot was almost empty. Everything looked normal again except for one thing. The giant Benny's sign on the roof flickered. First red, then blue, then red again. Like a heartbeat. Caleb leaned on the side of my car, breathing fast. We got it recorded. This is insane. This is going viral. But Mia wasn't excited. She stared at the windows of Benny's, shaking her head. Guys, that thing said not again. We need to know what happened here before. I swallowed. Part of me didn't want to know. But another part, the part that clicked the horror videos and stayed up too late reading scary stuff, needed answers. So instead of going home, we followed the worker. He ran to the dumpster area behind the restaurant and sat on a crate, shaking. When he saw us, he covered his face. You shouldn't have stayed past 9, he said softly. Nobody stays past 9. Not anymore. Why? I asked. He took a long breath. Because of Benny. Mia blinked. Benny? Like the restaurant name? He nodded slowly. Benny wasn't a cartoon mascot. He was a real guy. He owned this place. And 5 years ago, on a stormy night, something happened in that kitchen. Something so bad the company tried to cover it up. I felt my heart pound faster. What happened? He looked up, eyes full of fear. Benny died. But he didn't leave. Before we could ask more, a loud metallic crash came from the dumpster behind us. Something heavy slammed against it, hard enough to shake the ground. The worker jumped up. No, 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 it followed us out, he cried. We turned toward the dumpster as the lid began to lift, very slowly, like someone inside was pushing it open. The dumpster lid rose inch by inch, its metal hinges groaning like something was forcing them from below. Mia stepped back until her shoulders hit the brick wall. Caleb grabbed my jacket sleeve so tight his knuckles turned white. I felt frozen, the cold night air pressing hard against my chest. The worker, his name tag said Ethan, held his hands up like someone might hold them toward a wild animal. "Benny, please, not them," he whispered. Something inside the dumpster moved. The lid lifted higher. A dark shape pushed upward. For a moment, I thought it was just trash shifting, until two pale hands gripped the metal edge and pulled. The hands looked human, but wrong somehow, like they were too long, the fingers too stiff, as if they'd forgotten how to bend. Mia let out a small squeak. "Jacob, we should run. We really should run." But Ethan shook his head. "If you run, it follows. It only stops if it thinks you're listening." "Listening? Listening to what?" The dumpster lid slammed shut all at once, bang, echoing across the empty parking lot. The sound made a car alarm go off somewhere in the distance. The four of us stood in silence until the alarm faded. Then, from inside the dumpster, we heard it. A slow, dragging sound. Like something heavy was pulling itself across the bottom metal surface. Then a voice, raspy and far too close, whispered. "You remember, don't you, Ethan?" Ethan crumpled to his knees. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I'm so sorry." Caleb looked at me. "Dude, what is he sorry for? What really happened 5 years ago?" Ethan wiped his face and finally spoke. "Benny didn't just die. He locked himself in the kitchen during a robbery. He thought it was safe. But the back door jammed. The fryer fell. Oil spilled. He choked on the words. I understood without him saying more. Benny hadn't escaped. And now his ghost, or whatever it was stuck here, reliving that night again and again. But before I could react, the dumpster lid creaked open a second time. Much faster. Much harder. Like something was tired of waiting. A dark figure rose from inside, tall, thin, and wearing the old Benny's uniform, the same one we'd seen earlier. Its face still flickered like a broken TV, switching between shapes. But this time, it was trying to form something. A single expression. Anger. Mia grabbed my arm. "Jacob, it sees us." The figure leaned forward, its head tilting unnaturally, like it was studying us. The air around us grew colder. My breath fogged even though it wasn't that kind of weather. Then the restaurant lights behind us suddenly turned on all at once, every light, inside and out. The big glowing sign flickered harsher and faster. The drive-through speaker crackled to life. A voice, a deep, broken one, echoed across the parking lot. "Number 2. Midnight fried chicken." I spun toward the speaker. "Why is it saying that? Why number 2? Caleb's phone buzzed wildly. He looked down, and his face drained of color. "Bro, it uploaded a new video. Just now." "What video?" Mia asked. He slowly turned the screen toward us. The new thumbnail showed a blurry image of the figure standing behind us at the dumpster. The title read, "Top 3 Haunted Fast Food Restaurants That Are Terrifying, Part 2. Number 2, Midnight Fried Chicken, Dallas, Texas. Coming next." I felt a sharp jolt of fear. Why was it showing number 2 already? Why was it acting like there was more coming? Then the figure stepped out of the dumpster, one foot hitting the pavement with a dull, heavy thud. It reached out toward us, not running, not chasing, just reaching, like it wanted to grab something. Or someone. Ethan whispered, trembling. "If he's showing you number 2, that means he's not finished with you yet." The figure took another step. Closer. Closer. And then, a loud car horn blasted from the far end of the parking lot. Headlights swung toward us like 2 bright white eyes. A car was speeding straight into the lot, tires screeching. It wasn't slowing down. It wasn't stopping. It was coming right toward the figure. And us. The bright headlights swallowed everything. I threw my hands up. And that is where we stop.